Hello everyone and welcome to the Code Corner. So today I'll be starting my new HTML and CSS tutorial, and it's going to be web development with HTML and CSS. So this is going to be the first video, and it's going to be about just the basic structure of HTML and just what it really is. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in our tutorial series, we're going to be just creating websites. And here are some examples of websites. So here's a little mini website I made, and just like welcome to my website. And it has little tabs about things about me, my favorite things, a little animated text saying make sure to subscribe to me. And here's my logo as well. So here's just a really simple web page. It actually looks pretty nice. And here's here's a better web page. It can be like a blog page. So you can make like a register page where you can actually register for a website. And this is all just HTML. And you can also create like a credits page and another scrolling thing. And yeah, this is really cool. There's images, a background. So this is kind of what we're going to be doing in our tutorial. So now to get started, we are going to go to REPL.it. And I'll explain what that is later. So go to REPL.it. That's the website name. And you get over here. So we're going to do sign up, and basically what this is, if you want to know, it's a browser IDE, which is where you can just code, and it's really beginner friendly for just beginners who just want to learn how to code and everything. But if you want to use more maybe advanced stuff, more trickier stuff, you could use maybe brackets or VS Code. And the link to this and those other softwares I mentioned, they'll be in the description below. But for now, we're just going to use REPL.it. So if you don't already have an account, we can sign up, or if you already do, you can just log in. So sign up, and you can just add a username, an email, and a password. So since I already have an email, password, username, I'm not going to do this. So I'm just going to go back here and go to login. And I'm going to just log in with my username and password. And you should get to here. So you have your profile picture and your username and everything. So you should be greeted to here. And so now you will get to this little home tab here, and you will just want to create new REPL. Okay. So now, since this is an HTML/CSS tutorial, we're going to be using HTML and CSS. And then we can name our new file. So I'm just going to name it HTML basic structure. So just that simple. And then you can do create REPL. And then you do REPL created and then cancel. And then you should get to this place. And it has a lot of overwhelming things, which I'll explain in just a moment. So we have all this code that may look a little bit weird, and just for now, since for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to just delete it. And you should get this message that is not important. So now let's just look around and see what we have here. So we have our file name, we have this button called run, and then we have this, our actual website. And let's see here. So we have a file called index.html, and we have another file called script.js, and we have another file called style.css. So we're going to be using index.html. So make sure you click on index.html and make sure it has this little orange 5 on it. So go here, and now here is where the coding comes in. So I'm going to explain what HTML actually is. So HTML, okay, is it's abbreviated, and its real name is Hyper-Text-Markup-Language. So the markup language just means that HTML, it shows the browser how to actually display the document and all the content. That's what HTML is. So now we're going to see the actual basic structure of it. So how it actually works. So if you're doing this along with me, you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. But here, this is just a demonstration. So I'm going to be writing HTML. Okay, and then I'm making a little comment here, and then I'm making head, and then title, and then body. So here, this HTML right over here. So this is a tag. So a tag looks like this, which I'll more in-depth explain later. So this is how a tag looks like. And in HTML, so this tag is telling the web page that this document is actually HTML, what we're actually coding. So that's that. And then we have the head tag. So the head tag, it holds metadata. And if you don't know what metadata is, it's just data in data. So this head tag, which looks basically like the HTML tag, looks just like this. So in here you can store like links to different files. So maybe you want to link this HTML file to this style.css file, which I'll talk about more in my next video. So this style.css file can add some styling to the HTML file to make it look better. So in this head tag, you could add a link that links this HTML file to the CSS file. So that's kind of what metadata is, just a little example of it. And there's a lot more examples too. Here's the title. The title tag is probably the most simple one, and it just titles your web page. So over here, this is called a REPL.it HTML basic structure. So that's just the title of the web page. And then the last one over here is called body. This is probably one of the most important tags. So this is where all your content goes. So all the images, all the text that you put in your web page, you have to basically put everything in your body tag. That just contains everything. So probably one of the most important tags. So now with that little background knowledge, now let's actually put it into real code. So let's start off. HTML. Okay, so this is a tag. So a tag has opening angle brackets, and then you would write whatever is in here. So for in this case, it would be HTML, then a closing bracket. So once again, so opening angle bracket, and then HTML, and then closing angle bracket. And then to actually make the tag correct, you would make a closing tag. So you do opening angle bracket and then slash HTML. So now, just by doing this, we're telling the web page that, oh, this is an HTML web page. So now let's go look up here, press enter. Now let's do head. Let's do head. Okay, so this is another tag, and it's typed just the same way as the HTML tag, with opening and closing angle brackets, and then head, and then slash head here. And this is just where all the metadata is, which I explained before. And yeah, so now let's just press enter again. And now in here, we can add our next tag, if you remember, which is our title tag, which you have to close it again. And yeah, so our title tag just names our websites. We can name it hello, and then our website will be titled hello. But for now, we're not going to do that yet. So now, our most important structure tag is going to be our body tag. So you just do opening angle bracket, and then body, and then you close it again. And we have our body tag now. So now you can just enter, and let's just get rid of all these extra spaces. So if you can see here, so now we just have actual HTML structure. So this is just the little layout to making a really great web page. So now let's actually run this. So you can press a run over here, but I suggest pressing this little button here called open in a new tab. So you can just press this, and now you're to your actual web page. So yeah, so this is just pretty much what we have right now. We have a white screen, and then we just have a title here, which is the name of our file. And you're probably wondering, why is it like that? Well, that's because, remember what I told you about the body tag. All the content goes in the body tag. So because we actually have nothing in here, there's nothing in these tags. So that's why the web page is just white. So now let's add something. So let's go into our title tag, just for starters, and let's do let's name my web page hello. Let's just name mine hello. And you can name yours whatever you want. This is just an example. So hello. So now that's our title of our web page. So now to see what changes we made, let's go back to our website, press refresh, and if you can see here, it says hello. So we actually did something to our web page. It's called hello now, and that's really awesome. So now we just have that, but we still have a white screen over here for the actual content. But so now we're gonna actually add something. So let's add a few spaces, and I'm gonna introduce you to a new tag called the H1 tag, which is actually just a header tag. And one more thing I forgot to mention. So all this in blue is called this is actual code. So this is telling the web page, okay, so this person put a title tag. So now I need to make a title, and then with the content hello. So all this white stuff here, the text that we put in there, that's actual content. So that's what's going to be displayed on the web page. So the tags specify how the content is going to be displayed on the page. So just for future reference. So here is our H1 tag. So if you can name this is actual code. So this is saying, okay, so our web page needs to have a heading, right? But there's nothing in here. So we can write, so let's just write, welcome to my video. So we can just write that, really simple. And then you can write whatever you want. This is just another example. It's not saying, okay, so our H1, so this H1 tag is just saying that, okay, so we have a header with the content, welcome to my video. So we need to make a heading that says that. So let's go refresh our page. And look, so now it says welcome to my videos because we created a heading tag. And now, so since we have that, a header tag, now let's just add something else. Let's add a P tag. So a P tag is basically a paragraph tag. So in here you can just put paragraph. So HTML, yep. Okay, so we'd write HTML is so much fun. So this is gonna be a paragraph. So our paragraph is gonna have HTML so much fun. Now let's refresh, and look. So now we have a paragraph that says HTML is so much fun, and that's actually pretty awesome. So we have basically the basics of making a good web page. We can have a header to our web page and a paragraph, just like this. So we have a header, and we don't actually have any paragraphs. But yeah, it's just this is a start. So we go back here, and pretty much that would just end my video. But I'm gonna add a little sneak peek here. So my next video, as I told you about, is going to be about CSS, which is a styling language to make our web page look cool, right? So we can add maybe colors or fonts and stuff like that. But now I'm gonna give you a little preview of that. So there's 3 ways to do CSS, and I'm gonna give you a simpler way, which is called inline CSS. So you can just, if you're doing this with me, just type what I am typing. So you do style equals, and then quotes again, and then you write color. So this is saying we're gonna change the color of this H1 tag. And just to mention again, all this code right here that we just typed, that's code. That's not content. This is telling our H1 to add a style that has a color to this content. So style equals color, and then let's actually have a color. So you can do whatever you want. My favorite color is blue, so I'm gonna do blue here. So now, just to define this actual line of code, just say, so this header tag is gonna make this content blue, right? So now let's just see if that's actually true. Let's go here to our website. Let's reload the page, and this is actually blue now. That's actually really awesome. So yeah, and now maybe we can just add another style. We can add more styling here just for fun. So style equals, let's do color. I want to make it let's do light green. Right, and then you can refresh your page, and it should be light green. It's a little bit hard to see, but yeah. So we just added some styling to our web page, and it doesn't look exactly great because we could have maybe more color, maybe more animation, more fonts, but that's just basic HTML. So just with that in mind, you could actually go ahead and create a really good web page. And yeah, so that will basically conclude my video. And if you did this with me, you can always go to the comment section and post a link to your project, and I can maybe showcase it in my future videos. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.